Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. If you could just let me know if you can hear us all, you can see us all, everything looks okay and sounds okay, that would be absolutely fantastic. But as always, we've got our WordPress Content Creator Network live stream podcast thingy-me-doodle. And as always, there's myself, there's Mark, there's Imran, and there's Jeffrey. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey, doing all right. Good to see you all.
Awesome.
What is going on?
Well, I don't really know, but we're going to find out during this next hour. I'm sure there'll be some interesting topics, some strange shit going on, and some rambling. But other than that, so how's your week been so far then, guys? Anything exciting happened? Anything new and interesting on the horizon from a sort of technical point of view, from what you're interested in, WordPress, web design, anything like that? Anything interesting?
No.
Awesome. Well, that's it. So, thanks very much for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you again next month.
Not business related, but our team's going to the Super Bowl here in Philadelphia Eagles. I know you guys don't watch American football, but yeah, big deal.
Yeah. I'm a Detroit Lion fan, man, and I was hurting really bad, dude. I haven't watched a game. I haven't watched a game, dude, since the last Lions.
I'm going to do a plug, Paul, if you don't mind. Friday morning, Barbara and I are going to do a live stream. We're going to rank all of the NFL logos. We're just going to talk about them and do like a tier list. Just something a little bit fun. So we're going to talk about the logos if you want to watch NFL stuff.
No problem at all. Anybody else want to do a quick plug before we move on?
No.
I'll take that as a no. It's either a very long pause here or it's like a real delay. So, okay. Now, we were talking about very, very briefly off camera was what's it called? Deep sea dive? No, what's the new AI thing called, Imran? Deep what? Deep
Seek.
Deep seek, that's it, yeah.
Deep sick.
Has anybody actually tried that? I mean, we all know that ChatGPT is by far the most prevalent, probably AI that most people know about. But I mean, have you tried it out yourself? Have you sort of like dabbled into it? Or anybody here dabbled into that new side of that new AI?
So I'm going to be honest in that I really am going to struggle for time to really go in depth into it. But I did try and log on yesterday, but it kept saying you can't log on because the servers are maxed out. So obviously due to the popularity and it going viral, many people are hitting the server. But even if I really had time, I think I'm a little bit saturated in my head with so many AI tools, and I've decided that I like to use ChatGPT, so I would probably use that. And until someone convinces me that DeepSeek is like 1,000,000 times better and more efficient in what I can do, I don't know if I'm really going to delve into it, because I just use it for coding, for snippets and doing something funky and getting ideas for posts and stuff like that. I'm not going to start creating a multi-million-dollar app or special program for everyone to use in the world. So, not used it yet. Is my answer.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, Mark, Jeffrey, I mean, are you on the AI boat, or are you just sort of like it's okay, it's there in the background, you're not really that interested in it? What are your thoughts on AI in general and maybe DeepSeek?
The one thing that oh, you want to take this, Mark?
No, you go. You go.
All right. The one thing when it came out was NVIDIA dropped 17%. And so it was a great opportunity. I was like, okay, let's get some NVIDIA stock because I think it was just a quick reaction, So I don't see ChatGPT going anywhere. I don't see the need for NVIDIA chips and everything they're providing for the AI space to go away. So anybody who's into stocks, it was a good day for us. But anybody who has a lot of NVIDIA wasn't a good day. It was a good day to buy it. But I use AI on a daily basis. I try to utilize it as much as I can. From everything from work to health, as like a fitness coach and health coach and all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I found. I definitely use ChatGPT basically every day. But I found the other models like Perplexity. I had the pro version of that. I wasn't too thrilled with that actually. I actually didn't think it was worth it. I have like a free one. I actually got it through my cable company, which is weird. My cable company, Xfinity, gave me a year of Perplexity for free. So I was like, all right, I'll try it out. And I don't know. The results are just kind of whatever. I think with ChatGPT, they're going heavier with the coding now, so it's like a different interface. I've noticed when you code. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think, also, I mean, how many people are here? I mean, I know myself and Imran, and I think, Jeffrey, you're an Apple guy. I think, Mark, you were more PC, am I right?
Yeah, I'm going to migrate over next time, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, now with the fact that ChatGPT is integrated into, Apple Intelligence, and Apple Intelligence have their own AI kind of model, so it's more integrated into, your whole sort of workflow inside the operating system, inside your phone, your tablet, whatever it is. I mean, have you tried using it? Forget about the summaries, because we all know the summary things when it comes to Apple
It's
and
rubbish.
notifications. It's absolute shite. But I do tend to find that I'm defaulting now to, I mean, I use Grammarly as well, and I use that a lot just to sort of like take a look at what I'm writing and just tidy it up and make it a little bit more legible. But I'm kind of finding now that, with the integration of Apple Intelligence into your operating system, which integrated into all your browsers and bits and pieces, I'm kind of finding I'm using that probably more than I use Grammarly. I mean, as the Apple people in the sort of room, are you using Apple Intelligence in any way, or have you kind of just literally just turned it off and thought, right, I'm just going to stick with what I know, like ChatGPT, for example?
I haven't really used it. I'm a little bit surprised by myself, because when I first heard about it, I was really excited. I was like, oh, this is going to be super great and everything. But I haven't really used it, mainly because I've got to this point where I have I wake up and I want to do certain things a certain way. So I have a certain routine with what I'm going to use as and when. And I feel, like I said earlier, I feel like I'm so saturated in my head at the moment with so many different tools coming out so often. Until I'm convinced, like I'm waiting for one of you to do a video to say you must use Apple Intelligence. Until someone convinces me, I'm just going to stick to what I know works. Yeah, I'm being really boring at the moment with what I use.
Jeffrey, what about you?
There's one good feature on the Apple Intelligence, and I wish Elementor AI would take this feature, and that is the ability to turn it off.
Yes.
That's it. just get that thing off.
I have that issue. I don't know if you guys have Google Workspace, but I can't turn the damn Gemini off. You have to actually install an extension in your Chrome to actually disable it. So if you start seeing Gemini all over the place in your Gmail, you're gonna have to install something. It sucks.
Gemini's been helpful. It's been helpful in some ways. I have to say, the Apple Intelligence. So I was so upset with it because I upgraded to the 16 Pro Max, and it just made everything worse. It made the notifications worse. Siri didn't work. Nothing worked, and I felt like they took us for such a ride. I went and bought a Chinese phone. That's how mad I was. I was like, let me get a Vivo, man, and get rid of this thing. So I still have it. It just, my iPhone sits over there and I use my Vivo.
I mean, do you think like the whole sort of AI thing is just being shoved into everything? I mean, like Mark says, with the whole sort of Elementor side of things. And I think any kind of tool that integrates it that doesn't retain any kind of conversation history is semi-pointless. This has been the sort of thing that I know it's not just me alone that said this about like the way that Elementor's integrated it, but any kind of tool, it doesn't matter what it is. If there's no conversation history, it's a kind of a one-shot wonder. And if you don't get it right the first time, you're just keeping on trying to find the right syntax to get the result that you're looking for. And I kind of think that's really missing the whole point of having AI. If you're going to integrate it in, you kind of just give in one very small component of it.
So I have quite a harsh, brutal feeling towards this. So if you open Word or any product now, you have Copilot pops up and it says, do you want me to write XYZ for you? Just like any AI tool out there. And a lot of us, because we did not grow up with AI, just like a lot of us did not actually grow up with mobile phones and social media, it came at some point in our lives and then we rolled with it. We can make that decision over whether we're going to use the AI or not, or just write our own or fine-tune it. I worry that in 20 years' time, a lot of the youngsters now will be so used to using it that that's all they'll ever do, and we'll forever just have, AI written articles and posts, and AI is meant to be forever learning, machine learning. It's what eventually it will just learn upon what it's put out there. It won't have real human articles and stuff being written. And I just feel like I don't mind AI to a point, but I do feel like you're right. It is a little bit everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like a lot of youngsters growing up, are they going to be able to research and reason and debate and argue and think things through logically? Or are they just going to say, I want to crack open an egg. What does AI tell me of how I crack open the egg? Do I hit it on a bowl? Do I hit it with a spoon? And that's all they're going to rely upon. Whereas I would throw it at a wall.
I think you probably, if you kind of consider that and take it to one step further but going backwards, like you consider when we first had mobile phones and you were limited to an SMS text message, which was what, like however many characters it was. So you abbreviated everything. And I think so many people now are still doing the same thing. So I think it's proof of the fact that, yes, when you take away learning and understanding at that level, at that rudimentary level, in something that's everybody's everyday life, they will very, very quickly forget how to do things properly. Look at the term of. It's like, I should have done it. No, you shouldn't have. You should have done it. Really, it's one of those things that really grips my shit. It's like, but these sort of terms that have kind of overtaken actual natural language and the way you speak properly and you sort of form sentences and things. And that just annoys me. So I think AI and everything, and like you said, with search results, how often do you search on Google or whatever, and the first pile of crap that's at the top is AI? You try to follow it, and it's nothing like what you're supposed to do. I tried this morning with my banking. It's like, you've got to go here, there. It's like, that doesn't exist on there. So you've already wasted my time by giving me false information. So at what point do we say AI is not the be-all and end-all, and it's actually making life worse for people?
So I'm just going to quickly chip in and let everybody else take over the conversation. In that, the thing that really irks me, and it's a bit about the whole AI, is you will see this a lot on Facebook, right? So there might be a science fiction post pops up about Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan or something. And you can so tell it's written by AI because there'll be a description and it's completely wrong in what it says the movie was about or something about the actor or the actress, and you know it's wrong, but it's obviously been someone's gone to AI, they've pasted it in, and then people believe it. And that's you know, like you're saying, that's the thing that really irks me at the moment, in that people trust whatever comes out of AI. It's a bit like Wikipedia. You know, people sometimes forget that Wikipedia is written by people who jump in and add their 2 pence for it. It might not all be factual, but a lot of AI at the minute is being taken for gospel. So if it says, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger did this and this is where he came from, they believe it. They won't kind of fact check at the moment. So that's my worry, in that we're just going to end up in 20 years' time with people that are actually going to, you know, they're going to read a post and say, Paul Charlton actually knew what WordPress was. And they're going to believe it.
No, this is not true. It's never going to happen. I will deny it to my grave. But I think to take this sort of the point you're saying there is that, doesn't that mean that people just lose the ability to reason? And I think 20 years is being generous. I'd say 2.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of doing something I've never done before. So here in the United States, our taxes are going to be due pretty soon. So I like to try to get it started early. I'm actually using ChatGPT this year to answer some questions I can't figure out, and I can't get the results on Google. So like, for example, if you're like a contractor and you take money through PayPal, now with the IRS and everything, you have to actually claim every like dollar that comes in. So there's like conflicts with forms. So I actually had to use ChatGPT this year to be like, what the hell do I do inside of TurboTax? And it's like telling me what to do. So I never thought in a million years I would have to use this, but that's definitely where it could shine, would be something like your taxes, because it's so goddamn complicated, you know.
I just use an accountant. It's just far easier. It's just like, there you go, this is my accounts. There's everything you need. Figure the shit out for me and tell me what I got to pay. And I literally just did that, you know, the beginning of January.
I wonder if they're using, maybe they're using AI too, who knows.
As long as they give me the right figures to pay my tax, I don't care what they use it. That's all that matters to me. Jeffrey, what are your thoughts?
I mean, It's going to be interesting, I think, in 10 years from now, once quantum computing starts coming out and we start combining the two of them. Right now, we're just in the beginning of something that we can't even really envision how big and how wild it's really going to get. But once you start going down that rabbit hole of quantum computing, seeing the possibilities, once you get that combined with AI, it's really going to go crazy. Right now, though, this is all just a gimmick stage. Like, I'm obsessing about a robot vacuum. And so I'm going through like all these YouTube videos on robot vacuums, which is the best one. And all these newer models have AI. Like, what the hell does a robot vacuum need AI? And it's like what you said, Paul, you know, like AI should be learning. That's the whole point of AI, that it learns. And if it's not learning, is it really AI? Mm-hmm. I think they're just slapping this on everything right now because it is great for profits, great for selling, a great selling point marketing. And, you know, I think most of it is rubbish, but there are some things useful. And it's good for us to learn the useful stuff and learn how to use it. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think your Hoover does need AI because when you're wasted on your sofa, Jeffrey, the Hoover's going to want to understand: do I leave it or do I dump him outside? So
no,
it's going to need something to work.
Actually, what it's really there for, is that when the karaoke starts next door, that it knows well enough not to listen to what you've been saying and grab a knife off the kitchen table and go and cut the cord on that microphone. That's all I'm saying. It just needs to be conscious enough.
The new one has arms that come out of it. It looked like a Star Wars droid. It has arms. Imagine that having AI and coming to life with a couple of those. And it actually does grab a knife at some point, you know, or...
I know. Like, could you imagine you drop a knife and it's like, we pick it up and it's like, what do I do with this knife now? You know,
and it's just rolling around with it. Like, okay.
You like, see a shadow in the middle of the night of just this robot arm with a big knife coming out towards you in the bedroom.
And they talk. Imagine it coming in. Jeff, remember what you called me? You know?
You said I sucked at sucking. We'll see. Quote of the live stream. Anyway, yeah. But I think that's the point, though, isn't it? Not the robot killing AI thing, but just AI is just being shoved into everything. If I'm honest, I find the biggest selling point these days is doesn't include AI. You know, it's like I use the ChatGPT plugin or app for the Mac. And it's just nice that I can use a keyboard shortcut when I want to use it. I don't feel it's not everywhere. It's not trying to take over everything I do. And I like that fact. When I want it, I can call it up. When I don't need it, it's out the way. And I think that, to me, is the nicer way of using AI at this point in time until it becomes something that is more usable. Because, like you say, it's just giving so much misinformation. And I've got to sort of touch upon a subject, and it's sort of like this popped up earlier on. I mean, if you're in the States or you have anything to do with it, or you're a TikTok user, you'll know that America has been trying to ban TikTok because of information going back to China because it's a Chinese-owned company, etc., 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 etc. Not to sort of like go over all that. But what I do find then kind of ironic is that you get this DeepSeek thing, which is a Chinese-based company where you're basically training its AI. Does nobody sort of look at that and think there's a kind of an ironic thing going on there? It's like you want to ban TikTok, it's owned by a Chinese company of people dancing and stuff like that, but yet people are jumping on this because it's cheap, because it costs like cents or whatever it is in comparison to the $20 a month that you've got to pay for ChatGPT. I just kind of find it weird, you know. I don't know what anybody else thinks. No, you know, I don't know the validity of that.
I had exactly the same thoughts, like you know, open source, brand new almost, come out of nowhere, and so many people are installing it, and I'm like, you know, it almost feels like the cautiousness of what you install that could be, you know, it's kind of almost gone out the window. But yeah, I had that exact thought as well. I was surprised that so many people were just jumping on board with it, you know, because it just came out of nowhere kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But to take the sort of the same thing, let's take TikTok out of it. I mean, you look at, was it Xiaomi or several of the different phones were sort of stripped out of all their Google content because, again, there was that sort of whole conspiracy. There's a whole sort of thing that's going on there. There seems to be no continuity between the sort of the thinking logic going on there between a phone that could be tracking these things or someone that's having millions of people inputting data directly into it. Just kind of feels a bit strange and a little bit sort of. Did anyone think this?
We're all being tracked. We're all being tracked.
Well, yeah.
Everything's being tracked. This
by
is
your
being
robot
tracked right now.
Yeah,
it's
by your
all
vacuum
being
cleaner.
tracked. Watch our ads pop up. We're all going to get robot vacuum ads.
Or sharp knives.
But
Knives.
I think if I think too much about it, then I'll start to overthink and start to let worry or fear kick in. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, they're all watching. There's all kinds of stuff happening right now, so I don't know. I still got my Chinese phone. I still rock it. Look at that. Look at that camera on that thing, dude. I'm sorry. You can't get a camera like this on the phone over
That's
there
huge.
stateside. Yeah.
Well, funny enough, you said
It's a
about
camera with a phone.
you said about always watching. Has anybody actually watched the series Silo on Apple TV?
Oh
Not
yeah.
yet.
Yeah, I'm halfway through
well-
season 2. So
Yeah, season 2,
Good, huh?
not as good as
Slower.
season 1, but
No,
still
slower.
watchable.
yeah, a lot slower.
Yeah,
I hate
still
it when they
watchable.
split the characters into two separate storylines. You know it's always going to be problematic. But again, the sort of the whole watching you and knowing exactly what you're doing and all that kind of stuff is concerning when you kind of consider that. But we won't go down that route. That's going to take us into a direction that would lead us down a pretty rabbit hole.
I was
but
going
yeah,
to say one quick thing is the DeepSeek thing. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show Silicon Valley on like HBO. It was about
No.
these nerds that created this algorithm that compressed video, whatever. But anyways, it was called Pied Piper. And they were the first ones to market to do it a lot faster and cheaper. So it's literally, that's exactly what's happening, but in the real world now. Because they were able to do this, AI stuff for a fraction of the cost. And nobody really knows how they do it, which is kind of fascinating. So yeah, it's very much like the Silicon Valley show.
I've heard of it. I didn't
It's
see
funny.
it though.
Yeah. It's funny. Then Jin Yin takes it all over to China, creates
Yep.
his own Facebooks and stuff. Just
I'm
steals
telling
all
you,
the
man,
code.
Mike Judge, man, he's seen the future. He knows what's up.
I think that's the kind of crazy thing though when you sort of start seeing these stories and how they parallel to actual real life, but yet in a story, in like a TV series or something like that, you can see it. You can call all those signs out. You go, oh, they're doing this, that, and the other. In real life, you're just like la 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 la. Just carrying on with the. Oh, surely they couldn't do that. Why? These are not based in sort of just pulling things out of the air. These are based in fact. But not to go down conspiracy theory routes. So let's just leave it at that. Just leave it there.
We got some conspiracy theories in WordPress right now.
Oh, please do tell, Jeffrey. Do tell. But that smooth segue.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go there.
Is it
Yeah, please don't-
Elon Musk is going to buy WordPress, right? Is that what it is?
Oh God. Let's not go. Let's not start on him. Let's not start on him.
There's gonna be an automatic meme coin coming out soon.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Let's just
What-
keep
what-
adding to it. We can add a lot of them. The Mac
Well,
coin.
what about the army of robots that that Elon Musk is currently creating?
I do like the look of them. I think they look really sleek, and I would just love it if I could just say, "Get me a can of Pepsi Max," and it just walks off and gets it, brings it back.
With a knife behind
That's
his
my
back.
dream.
One
This is how
Pepsi, sir.
Terminator started, guys. All right,
Yep.
Terminator started just like this.
Yeah, vacuum robots with
Yeah.
arms. It's all down to them, the little baskets.
Yeah.
I think, Phil, if Musk gets into WordPress, I think most of us are out. But
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, I mean, he's trying to influence UK politics, but we don't want to go down that route either. That's a man that's got too many fingers in too many pies, or trying to at least.
I feel like a steak and kidney pie tonight now that you've said that.
You don't look like one though.
Thinking. No, but I really do want one. Pucker pie.
What about what have you guys I did try. So I did try Blue Sky. I just wanted to see what it was about. I tried it for a little bit. And I removed it. The engagement just wasn't there. I tried it and I was like, no, wasn't into it.
I mean, I've got an account on it, but I have found that, again, it's one of these things where you end up getting saturated. So there's all these like outlets, and I'm active obviously on Facebook, and I post now and again on LinkedIn and Twitter, but I don't really do Instagram. I don't really do TikTok that much anymore, and I just find that too many, it just becomes too much. With so and so's replied, and there's a notification, and jump here, jump there, and I think Blue Sky is still quite small.
It is,
and
yeah.
I was finding that there's not much engagement kind of going on there, and I found it. I don't want to say toxic, but I found that it was like a free for all for whatever you want. So I was like, I'll just stick to what I know, kind of thing at the moment.
Yeah,
I don't
We're just sticking
mind
with
it.
YouTube. It's the only platform we're going to try is just YouTube. That's all we're doing.
I think you have to be realistic about where you want to put your time and your effort anyway, But we've all become far too serious now. So can we start talking about some other weird shit, please? It's just much more interesting. Yeah.
How weird do you want to get, Paul?
How much mushroom tea have you had?
This is a wellness mushroom tea. It's chaga, cordyceps,
Chaga?
reishi. Oh, yeah.
Okay. It all sounds like dubious substances to me, but let's go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean about Blue Sky. I can't say that I've seen any sort of like real negativity on there. I mean, if you want that, that's what X is all about. I mean, that is like a toxic space if you want to get into it. It's like when the whole sort of drama with WordPress kind of kicked off, it was so easy to get dragged into the number of threads on there to do with it. And to be honest, it's kind of one of those things. It's like a drug. It's like addictive, but you very quickly realize this is taking me down a rabbit hole that's making my mood pretty dark. And you kind of get out of it. You kind of look back and think, geez, but it's surprising how quick you can kind of get sucked into that negativity inside a platform like X because it's so quick. And now, like I say, with the whole, you can pay for the blue check and have shed tons of, long comments and stuff. That's a cesspit of crazy.
Well, that's why I
shit.
think Blue Sky just isn't. It doesn't have the algorithm there, so you're literally just seeing a chronological order. It's boring. That's why I got all. We almost got addicted to algorithms now. Like you're kind of used to seeing this algorithm feeding you what you think you want to see. So that's where we're at. I think there's going to be more pushback on it. I know I'm pushing back on it. I don't want to see a feed of anything. I want to be able to choose what the hell I want to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I know from my point of view, it's like I hate Facebook. I absolutely hate Facebook. The experience on that is absolutely awful. The only place that I actually enjoy being in Facebook are in the groups, and that's as long as it's not a toxic group. But in general, just the whole sort of, you scroll through your timeline, and there's probably 1 in every 15 posts is from people that that you'd like to interact with. All the rest are adverts, sponsored ads, or something we've talked about, like Chaga
AI
Tea, for
crap.
example. Yeah, it is all just shite. And it's the algorithm, while I get the whole point of just keeping people just doom scrolling to try and find something, I just find I got to switch my brain back on and just go, I've had enough of that. That's just crap. It's just nothing on there.
I honestly think this is like the downfall of social media because people forget social media is an experiment. It's not proven. It's not good for your health. We all know this. This is, I think, literally the downfall of it. Like it's collapsing in front of us. It's gonna take a long time, of course, but I don't know about you guys, but it's just it depresses me. Like, and I catch myself every few minutes. I'm like, what am I doing this for? I actually started reading books again this year. I haven't read a book in 10 years. I was like, you know what? I read a book. I feel so much more accomplished reading a damn book than going on Instagram or whatever.
You kind of get the feeling it's there to feed negativity, not positivity. You don't. How often do you walk away from Facebook, for example, and think, that was 20 minutes well spent of my life? Or do you think, what the hell did I just do for 20 minutes? And why have I done nothing and got nothing out of it? So I'm with Mark on this one. It's like I bought the iPad mini, and I'm not buying books anymore because I've got tons of books there. It's a pain in the arse having books. I'm just going to get the ebook versions of it and just get those. And it is nice to sit there in bed at night to actually read something, even if it's just like 20 pages or something, where you kind of put that down and you go, I've either enjoyed it because it's some story content, or you've learned something, or you come away and you just feel a little bit sort of, I got some ideas in now what I want to do with whatever it is you're reading. Whereas in Facebook or whatever, you just can't go back to sleep then because your brain is wired with all this shite that's been fed to it.
Yeah. Now, I deleted all my apps like weeks ago, and that's all I did. I started reading. I'm already 2 weeks in, finishing my second book. One of them had all kinds of stuff that I could implement into my business that I've started working on. The result is I just added a new team member and now adding another one through this change. And I think the whole world is starting to wake up slowly, seeing that all of this has caused so much just mental health issues. Like, we've never seen this level of mental health problems going on. And, it's just like Mark said, this is not healthy for people at all. So I think you're right, Mark. I think we are going to slowly start to see this pull away. That's the reason why I stick to long form content. I get something out of it as long as it's like something that has value in it. But I just don't see the value in social media scrolling unless if the value is to waste time. And time is too valuable to waste.
Well, MB, all I can say is old men getting older, damn straight. Yeah. Older and a damn sight bloody wiser for not staring and scrolling through shite that is on Facebook. So, yeah, I'll take that. I could care less. Go back to the days.
Young men getting stupider. Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think
like
the future's,
true, dude.
I don't think the future's doing this with your finger for hours is the future.
Dude,
yeah.
That is proven that scrolling makes you dumber. It reduces your IQ. You read something, you watch something long form, you got those neurons connecting inside of your brain. You're actually getting more intelligent. Your IQ is getting boosted. It doesn't stay that way. You start doing that scrolling, and this is why I feel like we're seeing the results of a lot of stuff happening right now, especially with, I hate to sound like the old guy, but the younger generation,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, who wants to pick up Lee's comment? Go on, Imran. I can see you chomping at the bit there to say something.
No. So two things I've noticed, and I have made a huge mistake as a parent in getting my son his first mobile phone a year ago. I totally regret doing that when he was 8 years old. So the mistake I made was letting him have that. And obviously him and his mates, they're watching YouTube shorts and videos and all sorts. The thing that really winds me up the most is like nearly every day he comes over to me and says, Dad, did you know XYZ happens? And did you know that this does that? And did you know that if you do that, this happens? And I'm like, no, son, this is all false. This is fake. This is someone making it up. And I really like what Jeffrey just said about it dumbs you down. Trust me, a lot of the kids these days are really flipping dumb at the moment about some of the stuff they come out with and believe. And I as a parent, if anyone out there, Paul, you've got a young one, drag it out as much as you can before you ever get them onto a phone or anything, because I'll tell you what, I totally regret that as a parent.
Yeah. But let's just pick up on Lee's comment, because there's some validity in what he's saying there, but I think there's a difference between content creators, because you're creating content, and I'm talking about like in our niche. We're creating educational and informative content to help people improve their lives. We're not creating TikTok of us dancing to some stupid friggin' tune that gets 5 billion views because it's a 10-second video of someone dancing like a tit. Take your choice. It's up to you.
Yeah. I don't consider. I don't know about you guys. I don't consider YouTube like a social media platform. I just create videos on here. If you watch them, you watch them. Yeah. If you don't, you don't. I disable comments. I don't care if you leave me a comment. Like, I don't. The social part isn't what I'm here for. I'm here to actually educate you. If it helps someone, that's good. So I don't know. To call things social media all the time is not always accurate, in my opinion.
No. Exactly. Too many ads on YouTube too. Well, that's the whole point of paying for it. If you want YouTube for free, you have to have ads. Like it or lump it. I hated the ads, so I pay every single month to avoid having ads. It's up to you. You go whichever way you want. You want to watch TV programs, you pay for Netflix. You want the cheap ones with the adverts, go for that one. If you hate adverts, you pay for the full one. Unfortunately, life isn't free. You've got to pay some way, and YouTube is a
did
massive
you?
platform. So
Did you hear
tell
what?
them,
Did you hear what
Paul.
YouTube is doing? Is
Preach.
they if they catch you if YouTube catches you with an ad blocker, they might throw an hour-long video. Have you heard about this? Yeah, that's kind of like an FU to the ad blockers.
Yeah, because they will actually, if you've got an ad blocker running as well, I mean, they've been doing it for a while now, they won't allow you to actually watch the video. It'll just stop and tell you, just a blank screen it. So, it's shitty, but the reality of it is, it's not free. We create the content for YouTube for nothing, but they've got costs to actually distribute that information. And again, this cracks me up because I know that myself and Imran have talked about this, and I'm sure you guys have talked about it as well, is that... I completely forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, it's gone now. But it was really important. It would have changed life as we know it. But unfortunately, it's gone. So I'm just going to blame I spent some time this morning scrolling. My brain's just melted, unfortunately. So
See, that's what happens when you sit on the toilet too long,
Some of the
scrolling
best
for
ideas.
50 minutes. Yeah. Then you get hemorrhoids and all that. Man, yeah. See,
It's all a pain in the ass.
It causes it's all a pain in the ass. Yeah, I heard something interesting on Think Media this week. The dude Sean on there, he was breaking down like the different type of content creators. And I thought it was interesting. He broke it down to you got like the educators and the specialists. Those are the ones who are teaching something and providing value. And then you have the influencers. And those are the people that are only
Yeah.
providing entertainment and no value,
Yeah.
like that you would take away from. So I think that when people like bring up social media, they automatically put everybody into the same basket instead of that clicking is
Sorry.
lost my thought. Just kidding, man.
It's triggering.
I need to get one of those. You triggered me, my feelings, man. I'm important. Come on.
Sup some more chargity, you'll be fine. Yeah. So yeah, you are, like I say, you are right. There are different kinds of content. There's educational content which has an intrinsic value to help people learn more, but then there's also entertainment content. And I don't know about you guys. I mean, I literally probably watch 1% of normal TV. Everything else I watch is on YouTube, and even then, it's specific channel content that I watch if I watch anything at all. So and that's totally changed the way in which I consume media. That's the way it is. I mean, I don't know if you guys are the same. Do you watch your normal terrestrial TV, unless it's a specific thing, like a sports thing?
No, just I think TV for me is more catching up on shows and series and things like that. I like to watch things that take me away from the real world. I want to be just like, I just want to watch something where I can forget all the troubles and problems I have and just believe I'm somewhere else and watching someone else's drama. But YouTube is very much what libraries were for me 30, 40 years ago, kind of thing. It's my learning zone. And I have to say, every morning I get a good 2 hours in while I'm doing a bit of work, and I'll have videos playing and I can listen and watch and whatever. And it totally makes me who I am. It means I get to experience new things, try things out, and it's great. And one of the things I massively get annoyed with, and I'm not having a go at anyone who's in the live chat or anything out there, but the amount of people that ask questions on social media, in forums, as comments, whatever, and I just look at them and think, you could get the answer yourself if you went onto Google, if you read a blog post, an article, watched a YouTube video. There's so much out there for you. So when it comes to watching, I still watch TV, but yeah, YouTube is very much my go-to learning zone.
I think there's two kinds of things that are like, it's like I want to learn new things. I think a day where you haven't learned something is a day that's been wasted. But you also want things that have you switch your brain off and you can just enjoy. Like, it's rare that I actually sit down and watch or binge watch something. But like I say, with Silo, for example, it's just nice sometimes to kind of take yourself out of that normal loop that you have, because you get sucked into it. You get sucked into the whole YouTube thing. And it's nice to kind of take yourself out of it. But yeah, I'm the same as Imran there. I like to either learn something or have certain things that don't try to push an agenda. They're just entertaining for entertainment's sake, and I like that kind of thing. I mean, what about you two guys? What about Jeffrey and Mark? What are your kind of things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100%. Yeah, we watch YouTube most of the time. That's like the main thing. Yeah, watching like regular TV it's weird now. Like very awkward. Like I'm not used to having these weird commercials all the time, and yeah, it takes you out of it for sure. But yeah, we watch other YouTubers and stuff like that. Yeah, it's interesting because there's a whole other like topic of like a whole like parasocial relationship where people think that they know you because they watch your content. I find that very fascinating. That whole relationship that you think you have with creators. It's or not whatever you want to call it, not creators, but just people that create content. I don't know what the hell you want to call them, but yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, can I just quickly jump into? Can I just quickly jump into that? How well do people really know us? Because I've always found that, like when I used to work in my day job, when people saw me outside of the job on a night out or having a meal, they were like, "You are so different." And I'd be like, "Yeah, because I behave a certain way when I'm in the job, but when I'm outside, I'll behave a different way." And I sometimes feel like we have fun, we can be entertaining, we can have a joke and a laugh, but we also have to perform a certain way when we're providing content or producing videos. And I sometimes even wonder, like even with all of you, how are we really when we're not recording? What are we really like? And I can tell you now, I'm all over the place. I'm like a Muppet that's just been thrown in the air, and that's me in real life. I'm just like crazy, like manic animal. I'm like that. So, it is funny how people sometimes feel like they know us, but I always go, do they really know us?
But then you could ask the question, does anybody really know anybody?
I don't even know me.
Yeah, but everyone's different in every different relationship, whether that's with your parents, whether it's with your partners, your friends, people you just know. But I think that's probably why something like this is fun, because we are a little bit more like the people that we are doing something like this. Whereas when you're doing the videos, you the crazy thing is, I'll take exactly what Imran said. You've released a couple of videos which are parts of your course, and you talk in a completely different way in there. You switched on Mr. Professional mode, and it's like, so if you click on this is what's going to happen. And the reason we're doing this, it's like, that's not Imran. Who the hell is that? It's just an AI voice. That's all that is.
That is what someone said in the comments. They literally said, "You've used AI," and I went, "No, I just purposefully spoke slowly because I've been told I speak too fast." So,
yeah, but you do change your voice. You do change your personality, depending upon what you're doing. If someone's paying you money, you want to give them as much value as possible, and a lot of that is how you present, how you structure the content. Whereas when it's given away for free, maybe you're a little bit less structured in some regards because you want to keep creating content. You want to feed that algorithm, and you will spend more time doing your courses and things. But yeah, it is. That's why I like doing these kind of live streams, because we can be a little bit more the people that we probably are. A little bit more our personalities kind of come out.
That's the reason why I like doing them. That, and also being able to just take the hat off and I keep my hat on, the serious hat off, and the let's speak properly and let's do this, and here's how you do this, that part, and just like kind of loosen up and keep it real, but then also connect with people as well. That's the best part of this. And you can only connect with people if you're being genuine and just being yourself. And then, connecting with you guys, just clicked, just being who we are. And, yeah, man. That, and also I do love the live streams to learn how to speak better, too. Like you mentioned earlier about the English. My English is so broken. It's like, it's like, I don't even know where it came from. I think I grew up on East Coast hip hop in Los Angeles around a bunch of essays and learned Spanglish. And like, just like it's all over the place. So like I'm having to relearn how to speak better. And, this is where reading comes in. But I love the live streams, being able to have this opportunity.
Do you know what I would love to do? And I don't know how I would even go about doing this, is that in my old job, I used to do a lot of training events for analysts, health analysts and stuff, and presentations. And I'd have a room of 20 of them, and it wouldn't just be training them on what to click and how to use SQL. It would be actually engaging with them, and you have conversations and storytelling and good things, the bad, the ugly, how to do X, Y, Z. And sometimes I really miss that. I really miss that kind of classroom vibe, because we do videos we're able to perfect it, aren't we? We're able to edit out all the mistakes and all the problems, and when something goes wrong. But sometimes I miss that real life experience where it goes wrong, but you're able to laugh it off and you correct yourself or whatever, and you go, see, this is what you don't want to do because I was too quick and I rushed it. and I wish I could somehow get back into that whole real life classroom vibe where, and I know people say, but you could do a webinar, but that's still not the same. You want to be in a room with people where you can go high five to all of them, because you managed to save your Word document.
Yeah, you vibe off people, off the environment. I mean, I'm the same. I spent 10 years teaching, adult education. So I was doing like 3 classes, 4 classes a day on all different kinds of topic, from, like you sort of word processing crap and all that, but like through photography, digital imaging, animation, all those kinds of things, web design and stuff. And that helps you hone your craft and learn how to explain things in a way that sitting in front of a camera, and you see this, and not to disrespect anybody, I'm not talking like specifically in the WordPress space, but you very quickly realize who is a natural born teacher and who can explain topics and subjects clearly in an understandable way to the ones that can't. And you very quickly pick up on that. And I think you learn that. I know myself and Dave, we both come from a similar background, but Dave was sort of like school level, so it was the younger children, whereas everything was like 16 plus for me. So I've taught everybody from 16 up to like 85, 90 years of age. And I think it helps you learn how to speak to people and how to engage with people that have totally different life experiences to what you do. How can someone, I was in my 20s when I was doing it, but in your 20s and you're educating someone that's 2 or 3 times your age that has way more life experience. So you have to learn how to be respectful of them and their skills and their understanding, and just learn how to actually convey the information that in a way that they can understand it. It doesn't always work, but it does help you. It's a great apprenticeship to learn how to teach topics and subjects that are maybe above and beyond just parrot fashion. And I think that's what you see a lot of people do. They'll just go, click this, click this.
Would you say, like, in person, when you explain something to somebody and it clicks and they understand it, is that like the best feeling? Because I've never taught in person before. So, yeah, I bet that's a cool feeling, yeah. Because I like to try to explain things complicated, but it's one-sided. I don't know if the person on the other side of this video is like, oh, had that aha moment. It's like, oh, that's how you do it,
Yeah, it is. There is something incredibly satisfying. Apart from anything else, the other thing is you can flip that a full sort of 180, is when people don't get what you're saying, you can see it written on their faces. So you can modify how you explain it. And you can go, okay, so maybe let's take a look at it a different way. You can sort of like keep it really simple and smooth and so on. But when people then look and go like, I don't get it, but they don't want to say anything. I'm in a room with like 15 other people. I don't want to be that one person who goes, I don't understand it, Paul. But you can see the look on their face. You can see their reaction, their body language. And you can modify how you deliver that topic, that content, whatever it is. And then, like you say, when they do get it, it's like that, oh. And that's a really good feeling.
I remember when I was in college, I did my degree was like a little bit of everything, like 3D, web, video. I remember the most complicated one was the 3D class, because learning a 3D program, it's very difficult. And only 2 of us in the whole class kind of got it. It was me and some other guy. We were like, oh, that's how you do it. So, yeah, sometimes you almost need just more time, too. It's like they don't give you enough time in school to learn how to use 3D Studio Max in 12 weeks or whatever it was, It takes longer than that.
Yeah. It is. There's certain topics that are intrinsically complex, but I got the same sort of like principles here. And I think we're probably all on the same thing here, same page. Is that you've got to explain the fundamentals to help people get those fundamentals. Otherwise, there's no point in going on. It's why, from my point of view, it's why if I know I'm going to put a complicated tutorial, like a masterclass kind of thing, I'll generally release like 5 or 6 videos that are the foundational skills. So people can use that, get to grips with it. And if they don't get it, they've jumped into a masterclass, they go, oh, how do you do blah, 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 a loop? It's like, well, watch this video. It concentrates just on that topic. And these are all just kind of things that you learn over doing this kind of thing. To explain the fundamentals and show people to understand the fundamentals, not just to be able to copy a list of steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you get this result. Because then they have no idea how to get a different result because they've only ever followed those 6 steps, nothing more. And I think that's the worst way to teach, because people don't learn anything other than parrot fashion, and that's not learning, that's just copying.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I love about doing what we do. Being able to do this is such a blessing, because not only do I get to help others and teach, but I'm in the process of learning. Everybody's given me an opportunity to learn and also build my own skills. Skills for teaching, skills for communication, skills for telling stories. These are very important life skills to have. And I know myself, I didn't have the opportunity to start teaching. I was in machine shops and warehouses and construction sites. That's what I did before. So the way we explain things is like, pretty caveman style. It was different. So this whole thing, and this is why I always encourage others, that I think about doing this, think about starting to do videos, is just to do it because you're going to start learning. No matter how difficult it is, where your English is at, where you feel, wherever you feel like it's holding you back, you start and you get to learn. It's a whole, it's a give. It's a relationship where we all get to learn and we all get value out of this.
Yeah, if you want to understand a topic incredibly well, try and teach it to someone, because that forces you to learn the theory behind it, the reasoning behind it. Because otherwise, you are just taking what you've learned parrot fashion and showing someone else that same thing. You must just give them the sheet of paper that says do these things. But when you think, okay, I want to teach this topic. And we've all created courses here. I mean, Mark, sorry, but what I mean is, like, if you're going to try and research a topic, when you do that, I mean, because you were working with Crocker-Block, so you have to research these topics before you start doing this. So, while it's not a course, it's still the same principle behind it. Mm-hmm. That's when you realize the gaps you have in your knowledge. Because you say, right, I need to get from A through to sort of Z, or Z, depending on where you are. And to be able to go through all those steps in between, you need to understand those steps. And only when you start to try to teach someone that, you've got to create a cohesive tutorial on it, do you realize the gaps you have, and then you will go and learn those things to be able to get that information over. And I think that's one of the best ways to learn if you are in this kind of environment, is pick a topic that you're not familiar with and learn how to be able to teach someone how to do that.
I had to learn some of the gaps from your videos, actually. So it's kind of funny. I piggyback off of what you've done and do it in a different twist or whatever. Yeah. So that's what's
But you've
cool
got to
about
learn
this.
it. But that's the thing, you've got. Yeah. However you've picked that information up, whether you've learned it by doing it yourself or finding other people that have created content or written content or whatever, the net end result is that your knowledge is filled in. Those gaps where maybe you didn't understand or you didn't know that particular thing had to be done, you filled that gap in. No matter where you got it from. You've learned it, and that's the key thing here. And I think that's the beauty of having people like us on YouTube giving this content away so sort of freely, is that we have such an amazing resource of finding, if you don't learn it from me, and Imran's done a video on it, you might learn it from Imran's way or from Jeffrey's way. We all have different ways of teaching, different language skills, different ways in which we deliver content. And this is one of the beautiful things about this, is the fact that if it doesn't resonate from the way I teach it, Jeffrey might teach it in a completely different way. It's the same net end result. You've learnt what you wanted to learn. And I think that's the beautiful thing about what we all do. And one of the things we should, fundamentally pat ourselves on the back for is taking the time to be, not just giving this content away for free, but for actually learning and filling those knowledge gaps in to be able to give that information away for free in a format that people can actually take away and, push their businesses forward, push their skills forward, learn new skills. Doesn't really matter what it is. We've all had those emails where people have come back and said, watch your videos and I've started my own business. And it's been brilliant. We've had those kinds of emails and they make you all warm and fuzzy. Well, that's why I do it. That's one of the key reasons why I do this and why I've done it for way before YouTube was even a thing. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And it's not just about what we've learned to put out there. It's about the fact that we have to keep learning as well so that we don't become stagnant. So as there's new developments and as plugins or page builders evolve, whether it's Elementor, Bricks or Gutenberg or whatever, we have to keep moving along with that because we want to be able to share stuff out to you about the good, the bad and the ugly of it. So, I always feel like we've got to do so much more. Not only do we have to learn, but we have to keep evolving and get it out there as well. So it's not always easy. And, whereas like there might be someone in the audience who only wants to focus on Crock-a-Block, we don't have that luxury at the moment. We kind of have to dabble in so many different pies at the moment. So it's a bit of a skill, an art, in how much we have to absorb on top of whatever else we've got in our lives as well, clients or other bits and pieces and recording. But, like Jeffrey just touched on earlier, I wish there was a way that I could really just showcase to people properly from start to finish how much effort goes into when we do record or release a 10-minute video, just for you to really understand the pain we go through.
But there's one thing I will
always
there's
kills
one thing
me.
there's one thing I would put on top of that. I would not change it for the world. I don't know about you guys, but
No, you're right.
I love it.
No.
I love learning. I
Yeah.
love absorbing new skills and showing other people how to do those things and get excited about it. 10 years I've been doing this and I'm still as passionate as I was at the beginning.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you on that. It's there's something satisfying about recording. Editing, not so much, but there is something satisfying about getting it out there. There is something quite nice about that.
There is.
Yeah.
And I also think it's really nice that we have the ability to do this. Everybody sort of, when they sort of see content creators in the same niche, they all think, oh, they're competing with each other. And the reality of it is, we are. It's just, we're all better than them. No, I'm just saying, just joking. But, we've talked about this before. It's like, it's a kind of strange job to do because you spend a lot of your time either sat in front of a screen learning, sat in front of a camera recording, or sat in front of a screen editing. That basically is the fundamental part of your working life. And I know Imran, and I'm sure you guys are the same. It's like your brain doesn't switch off. You get an idea, and the first thing you do is like, oh, that would make a great video, and then you start going down that rabbit hole. And there's a lot of reasons why this is kind of weird. So it's just great that we've got people like this group of people here and some of the other ones that are sort of also part of this that we can talk to. There's a lot to be said for having people that understand it, because your partner, while they might see what you do, they don't understand it because it's a very, very strange thing. It's not like doing TV, for example, where you've got a room full of people producing and all those kinds of things. It is literally just you in a room talking to a camera or an iPad at this point in time with 4 faces on. You know what I mean? It's a kind of weird scenario. So I think it's just great that we've got like this group where we can do these live streams and have our chats behind the scenes and do different live streams where we kind of collaborate with each other, like say like Jeffrey and Mark and Barbara doing stuff and myself and Imran and that. It's just great.
It's great to be in this. If I look at my entire life and my entire work life, it's so wonderful to be in this moment where I am, where I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, and there is something about that bit. I get a bit wound up with clients sometimes. They can really annoy me. Sometimes, like I got one at the moment who's really annoying me, but the whole video production and all of that, even the editing to an extent, it's a wonderful thing to get up and do that. And it's not a job that I don't just rely on YouTube or whatever. I have stocks and shares and other stuff and other investments, whatnot. I don't just have my finger in one pie, but it's a wonderful feeling, and I think a lot of other people out there could enjoy this feeling as well. Don't know if I made that make sense, but it's just a nice feeling. It doesn't always feel like a burden.
No.
I mean,
no.
I don't feel Yeah.
Other than talking to Mark Harris on a daily basis, that is a burden. So I hope he's watching. If not, he can catch you on
I think
replay.
he's using AI. I think he's deep in his deep seek, deeping.
It had to go downhill quickly. Jeffrey, what do you love about this job? Anything you used to anything you're grateful for with it all?
Man, imagine being able to just wake up doing what you want to do, choosing to do what you want to do, and that thing is just to provide value, to learn, to share, to help others, to see other people get this. That is the best. I just saw somebody in our Lytbox community today share an amazing win. Talking about just like a win that is for somebody who has started their web design business. Couple years down the line, they land a project that is just like, you couldn't even imagine it when you start off. Seeing stuff like that happens, it just makes me want to stay here. It makes me want to go all in even more. Just today, I gave up a project. It was a project. It was locked in. It was good pay, good client. But I realized as that project is coming on, it's taking me away from doing what I love, creating content, being inside of the community. That is where I want to be at. I love it so much, I've even made some big changes inside of my life. Changes in my diet, my fitness. I talked about how I changed how I spend time. No social media, reading more. And I read so that way I could learn. That way I could better myself and teach more. I spend the first couple of hours a day listening to podcasts on business and personal development on YouTube. Because this whole process, you just get in the process of learning, improving yourself, and helping other people to do it. And it just keeps going and going and going. And then you see somebody else new come in, also start a channel. Then you get to talk to them and connect with them. And then you see them going through it. And it's just like I'm sure, Paul, you've been around. I'm sure it's been like a beautiful thing to watch new people come in and get this and seeing them start to grow. You must have just enjoyed watching that process and journey in others.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, like I say, with when I reached out and connected with you guys, well, how many, like 3-4 years ago now it probably was. It's just nice. I don't get the sort of whole competitive thing. I would much rather see that we all help each other improve in whatever way it is, whether that's getting more people to know about what you do, spreading the word, helping each other, becoming part of each other's communities and so on. Because like they say, a rising tide raises all boats, or whatever the hell it says. And it's great. Like Jimmy, the skating choreographer, he's just started doing video content on his own YouTube channel, covering things like BricksForge, for example, which is a very undercovered plugin, which is a great plugin. And for the same kind of way with the content creators, I love the developers that I kind of spoken to and kind of been involved with over the last couple of years. That's something that has definitely changed from my point of view, is speaking to developers, finding people that are incredibly passionate about what they do. Like Daniel behind BricksForge, you got Maxim behind Advanced Themer and so on. They're really talented people that are really passionate about what they do, and they want to create the best product that they can create. And I love talking to people because I love seeing that passion. So yeah, it is great. And that's why, like I say, why I like doing these kinds of things, because I think all of us together at different points or different parts of our journey. And I think it's great that we all help each other out. It shouldn't be this exclusive, lock things behind a paywall. It's give everything out, because we all benefit. The community benefits. We benefit as people. All those things I think are beautiful things to kind of do. All sounds very meta and sort of, highbrow. But the reality of it is, it's just nice. It's just nice being part of a community of creators, as well as the wider community of people that are learning from what you do. And it's just great. We need that help and support from each other.
Yeah. And even like everybody here watching, creating websites for clients, they're adding value and they're making a living off of it. To be on this side of the coin where we're actually making a living off of providing value, it is a far better life than making ridiculous money by causing harm, by being shady, by being dishonest and having no integrity. You see it like in the crypto space. You see it with other YouTubers. Not generally WordPress ones, but you see what other ones promoting these like scammy stuff because they're getting 6-figure checks. They don't care. So what value are they providing? They're causing harm. So just being on this side and being with people on, this is like our tribe right here, the WordPress web design, people building websites. We're all people of providing value.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Go on. Imran, were you going to say something then?
Yeah, I was just going to say that one thing I really like, and I wouldn't be engaging with any of you or any other people who do videos or whatnot or other content creators if I didn't like how genuine everyone is. We're transparent, we're honest, we're not trying to hard sell anything. And the thing that worries me the most is I'm seeing more and more a lot of people that are pushing products or services where it feels like a pyramid scheme. Get rich schemes, become an AI consultant. I'm not going to name names, but I have seen some people under Automatic and WordPress influence who, buy a course and I will teach you how to make $10,000 a month. And I get really wound up by the fact that we don't do that. We have courses, yes. We teach content and whatever's, we might have training guides, but we never say, come and learn bricks, come and learn Elementor or whatever, or SEO, and you're going to start earning $5,000 a week or a day. We're not falsifying anything. We're being honest. We want you to be successful and have a great, good life, but we're not gonna make you think that you buy this and you're going to earn loads. And I'm a little bit dismayed, again, without naming names, but I have seen a lot of courses popping up and things where it's pretty clear that people are trying to sell this gimmick. You're going to have a yacht and a Ferrari and a big mansion. But that's one thing I really like, about a lot of the people that Paul's brought together, a lot of the contacts I've made over time, and a lot of the people that, are followers and people we mix with. Jeffrey's going to say, actually.
Link to my OnlyFans in the description.
It's just a video of Jeffrey's hat on its own. That's what it is. A 24/7 camera on his hat.
And my robot vacuum.
With a knife. Ah! Yes. And I think...
yeah, man.
I think that's probably a good point to end today's live stream. So, yeah. So basically what we're saying is then if you see any course that is saying you will make $15,471 every single month when you buy this course, not $1,500, just $97. You know what that means. It's all BS. Anyway,
what I always hate is why does it always have to be 6 figures and up? Why what's wrong with 5 figures? What's wrong with $99,000? Like, I never understood that.
Set your sights higher, Mark. Set your sights higher.
They get sucked into it.
We all know that these YouTube gurus, the ones that promise you making this much money, that much money, and so on,
God.
most of it's sort of bullshit. It's the same as the books. They just put those things out there because you've got people that are in bad situations that want to change their lives for the better, for whatever reason they have. It just plays into that mentality and it's making promises. And most of the time, it's just the same regurgitated crap over and over again. Backlinks, put this out there and that out there, do your SEO, blah, 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 your blog will make millions. Yeah, okay, of course it will. Because unless you can write things that either change people's lives or it is so totally different to everything else and prove that it works, you just competing with a million other voices out there. Could you make that kind of money? Yeah, you probably could, but it's not as easy as what everyone says. Same as passive income. There's no such thing as passive income. It's only passive when you put the effort in to start off with. So therefore, you've had to be active before you've got to the point of making any passive income. So it's not truly passive. Anyway, gentlemen, it's always been a pleasure. So we'll go around the room. We'll start off with Mark. If people want to learn more about you, what you do, and how they can find you, please do tell them.
All right. Wicky Design, WICKY design.com is our website. Of course, we have a YouTube channel where I post videos kind of similar to what you guys all post, just, Crockablock, Elementor, all that type of stuff. No brick stuff yet, maybe one day in the future. There's just too much content to cover. I don't know what to cover anymore. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to create more videos this year.
Good man, good man. We all need more content. Jeffrey, what's yourself?
Yeah, you can find us at lytboxacademy.com. Just search in Lytbox Academy or Lytbox, Lytbox. Check out our community on Circle. We got a lot of awesome web designers, freelancers, agency owners, a lot of good networking going on, and that's where you'll find me. Could connect with me there.
Imran.
Yeah, just pop over to learn.websquadron.co.uk. I've got courses, business packs, and things to help you, your business, and agencies out there. But also just do a search on YouTube for Web Squadron, and you will get annoyed by me because at the moment I'm trying to release a video every day, and so far I am releasing a video every day, so I am going to be annoying the life out of all of you for the rest of this year.
So basically you're cutting back on content then?
No,
just
no,
one
just
a day?
more and more. Ever since I got this Elgato teleprompter, it's so easy for me to churn out talking videos and stuff. It's amazing. I love it. I love this teleprompter.
Send that bloody robot round, Jeffrey, really, for Christ's sake. Just take his teleprompter out.
Jeez.
Anyway,
I don't
guys.
want your
One
sucky
now.
robot, your vacuum.
Anyway, guys, look, it's been a pleasure as always. We'll be doing this again next month, like we always do, every single month, usually the last week of the month. So make sure you set your diaries for that one. And if you want links to everybody's channel that's on here today, they're all down in the description of this video. If you're catching it on the replay or you want to just check them out, that's the easiest way to find every single one of them. But thanks again, guys. We will be back, like I say, in a month's time. I'm sure we'll have lots of other useless topics to talk about, but we'll talk about them with a smile on our faces. And until next time, take care, look after yourselves, and we'll see you all real soon. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
See you guys.